Hi Twin Flames, and welcome to your weekly energy forecast in which we take in what's going on with your twin flame and with you the following week. And as always, our last card is the next steps that you can take in order to speed up your harmonious twin flame union. So let's start with your twin flames week ahead and let's see what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what's going to happen on their journey this week. And we have don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So it feels like this week authenticity is going to be a huge theme in your twin flame's life. So it sounds like your twin flame might be confronting where they've been hiding or suppressing their authentic self. Maybe there are some things they've wanted to express to you, maybe to others, some boundaries they needed to set, some opinions they want to voice, but they just haven't been able to do that so far. And many times when we hide our authentic self, this happens because we have a deeper fear of rejection from. So this week I feel like your twin flame is going very deep into that fear, really confronting it and understanding that it's okay if some people don't like them, really, because we can't please everybody. And if you try to please everyone, you won't please anyone in the end. So that's why it's important to just be authentic, to prioritize yourself in that area, and to first make sure that your actions and your words and your thoughts are in alignment with who you are at the core, and that you're proud of the person that you are. And then the beautiful thing about that is that, sure, some people might not like that, but that's okay because your authenticity is what attracts the people that love that and they want to be around that. And this works especially well for twin flames. So your twin flame being more of their authentic self, you'll feel more attracted to them because of that. Because your soul is able to recognize that, hey, that's my person right there. So that creates more romance, more attraction between you. This week, your twin flame is really being pushed to their limit to stop shrinking in relationships and family, in work, to stop playing small just to feel accepted. And if you want to help them on your end of things, choosing to fully express your divine self really helps your twin flame do the same, because you're one at the core. So any healing you do, any core choice you make, it affects them on a deep level, and vice versa, because you're so deeply connected as twin flames. Next up, we have your week ahead, so let's see what's going to happen with you this week. And we have Inner Temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. You're being called to deepen your inner spiritual practice. However, this doesn't happen just for the results, so you can get your twin flame, because that's not really advisable to just, deepen your spiritual practice only for the result. Because that just feels like you're using your spiritual practice, and the divine is not about that. So it's not just for the results, but as an act of love and devotion to the divine. It needs to come from a pure heart with pure intentions. And as you do that, that's when the results come. So you don't have to focus on the results at all. All you need to focus is the love and devotion. So this week, it's important to deepen your relationship with the divine. You could do that by meditating, doing the mirror exercise, simply sitting with your feelings, offering parts of your self-love. Prayer also, this can help, like whatever it is. Some people go to church or they have their spiritual groups. Really, it's about finding a type of devotion that fits with you, that expresses who you are, again, authenticity. And that's how you can connect with the divine the best, by finding what feels authentic to you. And it's not about empty worship. Because I know many people on this journey, they were part of a religion at some point, it didn't feel authentic, so you went to spirituality instead. And this is like the same idea, essentially, finding a worship style that's authentic to you, instead of, just doing things just to do things and, get a cookie in the end from the divine, because it really doesn't work that way. There needs to be love behind it. Otherwise, actions don't mean anything. And this is also true with your twin flame. Like, if you just, reach out to them, but it doesn't have a loving intention behind that, then that's not going to get you very good results. You might have already noticed that, so that's why it's important. So it's very important this week to go within and create that inner sanctuary, because that's where your union with your twin flame thrives. And the more you create that peace, that security within yourself, the more this reflects outward in your relationship with your twin flame. And it's also important to remember that you don't manifest your union through trying to force things or trying to make it happen, because that's exhausting, that's frustrating, that's control, and it's not helping. How you manifest that is by aligning with it and creating that portal in your heart, that inner temple. That is the work to manifest that on the outside. It begins first within you and then it manifests on the outside. That's why the inner is so important on this journey, and you can't skip it or bypass it and try to get results from the outside. It's really not going to work. And if maybe it looks like it does, it's not going to be sustainable. So save yourself the pain and the trouble and start going within. All right, so next step for your harmonious union to come faster is to take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So it kind of feels like a lot of you have been really pushing and pushing yourselves to heal more, to get the results, to get things done, manifest very fast. But, that's beautiful, obviously, wanting and desiring your twin flame union and wanting to heal and being passionate about it. But on the other hand, you need to make sure you're not exhausting yourself and that there is a balance. It's not about being on the treadmill. It's about also enjoying what's going on around you, playing with life, interacting. And you're also invited to let go of the pressure, the urgency, and feeling like you need to fix everything within a day or so. This journey is more of a marathon than a sprint. Sustainable and steady will win you this race far more than, a sprint where you get lots of speed very fast, but then you burn out. So it's important to make sure that you are going at a sustainable pace that is not overworking you. You're not, constantly checking the connection, checking their socials, like, are they over me? Are they still here? They are. I assure you they are. So it's okay to take a moment, breathe, reconnect with joy, with rest. It's going to be fine. You don't have to be the one holding it together. The divine already does that for you. You need to trust that love unfolds naturally when you're aligning, when you're loving yourself, when you're in the flow, not when you're hustling and trying to make it happen. There's a huge difference in the energy. And also, you can be productive about your inner work in a way that doesn't overwork you. So I feel like this week, your next step is to find balance, to make sure that this is a lifestyle of peace, not a race, not something that you do fast to get the result and then it all falls apart. And that reminds me, some people have asked me in the past, like, okay, if I reach my union, do I stop the inner work? Is it okay to stop then? And, obviously not. You don't stop doing the inner work because that's a lifestyle. It's not, something that you do in order to get your result and then, oh, I got my twin flame, now I don't give a damn anymore. So, bye-bye relationship with the divine, bye-bye healing, I'm done. Because that's gonna fall apart. And it's not really properly respecting and honoring the twin flame journey to just, do the inner work just to get the result and then to just dump it once you've had what you wanted. It doesn't feel like a balanced relationship with life itself. It feels bad. So this week, it's important to ground in the knowing that this is a lifestyle change. It's not just something that you do for a year or a month and then you can go back to how things used to be, because how things used to be was what created separation between you and your twin flame. So it will be a never-ending cycle of, going back and forth instead of sustainably creating momentum that creates constant positive change and transformation between you and attracts beautiful things and an even more beautiful life. So this is all I had for you this week, my dear twin flames. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.